So who doesn't want to be healthy? But what even does that mean? It's such an overused, unoriginal, ambiguous term that people throw around left and right. And what does that even mean as a homemaker? Today I'd like to unpack some different ways that I like to live a healthy lifestyle as a homemaker, mind, body, and soul. Today's video might not be what you expect. I have some very tangible ways that I try to live a balanced life even as a busy mom of 4 kids, 7 and under. Hello, if we're just meeting today, my name is Megan Fox. I am a Mennonite living in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and I'm so excited to share these tips with you today. I have some notes here and it looks like I have 17 different tips, but let's not even bother counting because I've been known to combine tips and to add them in as I go. By the way, yes, it is snowing out there. I don't know if you can tell, but it's actively coming down. So I'm sitting out here in my little personal arboretum, sun porch, if you will. This back here, I just thrifted. Got it for free on Facebook Marketplace, and it's gonna be going in our laundry room, mud room renovation coming up. I'm very excited, so stay tuned for that. So yes, it looks like I'm kind of currently sitting in the middle of a furniture store, but that's about to change. Number one is to get rid of the mindset that you are solely responsible for your child's entertainment. I grew up with a mom that said, I'm not gonna play with you, that's why I gave you siblings. And yes, at first glance, that sounds a little blunt, but honestly, that's exactly right. While I do love playing with my kids, and I will sometimes, a bored kid is not your problem. In fact, it's probably good if your kids are bored here and there, and I think it's not a healthy mindset to think that we need to drop whatever we're doing just to entertain our kids. Even if it is reading a book or whatever, you're not solely responsible for your child's entertainment and for them to be entertained. We don't do screen time in our home except for the rare occasions here and there. So I'm not even gonna get into that today, but I think that's a whole nother tip that could add health to your home if you're not experiencing that at this point. Maybe try going screen free. But I think we need to accept the fact that sometimes kids are just gonna be bored. And so what we do around here, they come around the corner and they say they're bored, I give them a chore to do. And I try not to use chores as a punishment, but I would just be like, oh, you're bored, perfect, I need the dish rack emptied. Or can you go tidy up the toy room, something like that. And my kids quickly learn that no, they're not really bored. They just need to start getting creative. My 3-year-old, he likes to just eat when he's bored, so I've noticed that too, and that's something to be mindful of. But if you feel like you're spending most of your day entertaining your children and playing with them, you don't need to do that. Even if you just have one, they can watch you work throughout the day and help you out. I know when I first I only had one for 18 months, but I just took her kind of along with my day, and it wasn't all about her. She fit into my life for the most part. Guys, there's nuance here, right? Number two, so I think it's crazy how no one except maybe midwives at the hospital are expected to be on call for 24 hours straight. And even then they get breaks. They don't stay on 24 hours, 7 days a week for the whole month, for years and years at a time. And that's just the fact. Us moms are on 100% of the time pretty much. Even when you're sleeping, you're responsible for your child's health and safety and all of that. And it can just feel really taxing. So that's why I like to implement quiet time. That is when my kids all go to their rooms, even my 7-year-old, and they will have some quiet time, some me time, some personal time. It is good for all of them to get out of each other's hair, to give them a break, to give them a little bit of relaxing. The younger ones always fall asleep. The older ones maybe not, but they'll read a book or be quiet, and that gives me some peace of mind and some time to myself as well. I choose to work on YouTube. That's kind of my hobby, my business, my side hustle, whatever you want to call it. But maybe you choose to read a book, eat some lunch without anybody being in your hair, catch up on your WhatsApp chats with your friends, whatever you need to do. I just don't know how anybody can do it 24/7, day after day after day. So maybe consider implementing a quiet time again if you kind of let that slip. I was having quiet times when I was 14 and I loved it. It was fun to know I could shimmy up in the tree and read a book and stay out of my mom's hair, and I had some me time, personal time, and I could do what I wanted with that time, with some parameters, of course. Something to keep your mind and soul healthy is to always have something to look forward to, something to plan, and something to learn. So let me unpack that a little bit. Something to look forward to. Tonight I'm going on a date night, hence that's why I'm kind of dressed up for just a little sit down video. Josh and I are going on a date, so I've been looking forward to this for days and days, ever since the babysitter said that she was available tonight. I was like, yes. We've been trying to have my birthday date, which was in December, for over a month now, because just with sickness and the holidays and everything, it just kept getting pushed off and pushed off. So tonight we're finally doing it, and it's just put a spring in my step, a smile on my face. And when something goes wrong throughout my days, I know I have that to look forward to. And maybe I'm hyping it up too much in my head, I don't know, but it sure is fun to look forward to. And I think the key to this as busy homemakers is to have those things to look forward to on autopilot. Maybe that's a date night once a month or a girls' night once a month. Maybe you have a Bible study you do once a month. My daughter and I like to do a little mommy-daughter date once a week, and she looks so forward to it. Her favorite version is going to a coffee shop and just sitting and chatting and maybe doing some art projects together, like drawing, doodling, that kind of thing. And last week we got to go with her friend and her friend's mom. So it was like a double mommy-daughter date. We went for coffee. We went to a modest clothing boutique and bought them some clothes. Both of our daughters needed clothes, so that was kind of the springboard for the idea. And then we got some supper together, and it was so fun. And we learned so much about our daughters just watching them together and interacting, and it was just epic. I loved it, and it was so fun to have that to look forward to. In fact, we had to cancel the first time because of sickness, and my daughter was so devastated. She got off the bus when she came home from school and just sobbed into my arms. She was so disappointed that we had to reschedule, but we did it the very next day and it all worked out. It was fine. And yeah, it just put a spring in all of our steps knowing we had that to look forward to. And then something to plan. This could be a birthday party, or for me, I love to have a room renovation always under my belt to think about, to ruminate over, to online shop. Right now, that's our laundry/mudroom and possibly our kitchen, but it's always fun to have something like that to daydream about and to plan. Maybe some of you are just at the beginning steps of starting a small business. It could be planning your flower garden for the summer, or maybe something as small as planning a dress that you want to sew and you're researching the fabric for it, or a gift you want to send to a friend in another country or something like that. Just have something to plan and to coordinate. It definitely gives you a fun responsibility that's outside of the normal realm. And then third, I said something to learn. Please never be so old that you're too afraid to fail. This year in 2025, I decided I wanted to dip my toe into the world of flower arranging, and I decided I'm gonna give myself a budget each month that I can go buy fresh flowers from a grocery store or wherever and challenge myself to make a bouquet. And I'm a complete novice. I really have no idea what I'm doing. I feel like I was born with somewhat of an artistic eye. Like I know what I like, I know what colors go together and that kind of thing. But when it comes to like the motor skills of putting a floral bouquet together, I really have no reference for that. So I am still practicing, but I did do my first flower bouquet for January. Was it perfect? No. But did I have so much fun learning it? Absolutely. And you know what? I'm so excited for February now. I have that to look forward to when I can go out and buy some more flowers. And I'm already daydreaming and planning how I'm gonna do it differently this time around. Like for one, soak the floral foam ahead of time. My flowers all wilted the next day and I'm like, what's going on? And then I read my Instagram comments and you guys let me know right away that I forgot to soak my foam. So you know what? We're learning. It's all good. Maybe you're gonna be a chaperone on your kids' youth missions trip to a Central American country and you want to learn Spanish. You know, that could be something that's challenging your brain, creating new pathways up there. You know, as a homemaker, so many things we do are just so mundane. It's the same thing all the time. And that does not add a lot of sparkle to your day. So I think something to learn, absolutely. And you can learn while you're doing your mundane chores with audiobooks and podcasts. What a beautiful, awesome time we live in. I know social media gets knocked left and right, and that's actually a point later on in this video, but what a beautiful time we live in that we can be working and also reading a book at the same time. So Thrive Market is sponsoring today's video, which could not be more perfect because they've contributed so much to our bodily health in the last year or so. I love having a subscription with Thrive, but I think it's probably pretty healthy to cancel some of your subscriptions in 2025. I believe Thrive is something that actually you should add to your list if you do not already subscribe to them. They're a great way to get your hands on so many better for you products that, yes, you know, you could go out to the grocery store and find them, absolutely. Thrive actually offers better prices and it's all in one place that comes right to your door, which is so key for busy moms like me where we want to be pretty intentional about where we're putting our energy, and sometimes going on a treasure hunt from grocery store to grocery store is not what we're into. And I like to shop at a lot of bulk food stores and Mennonite discount stores and stuff like that. And they're gonna have like different things every week. They're not gonna always have, you know, some of the main staples that I always am looking for that I know Thrive offers. With Thrive, you can subscribe monthly if you're kind of skeptical, you don't know if you're really gonna love it, or you can go annually, which is obviously cheaper. I'm gonna unbox this and I can't even remember everything I ordered, but I know it is super random because there's so many different genres of products that Thrive offers. Health, skincare, cleaning supplies, food, of course, and it all comes right to your door, which, I mean, could it be any better than that? The first item here I'm just pulling out is Castile soap. I like to use this for different cleaning projects and stuff, and it's just, the pretty bottle gets me every time. It makes me smile every time I open my cleaning cupboard to get this out. But this is a hemp eucalyptus Castile soap, And I was reading up on the different ways you can use this actually on your body as a shaving lotion and different things like that. So I'm actually gonna keep this, the plan is to keep this in my pretty shower upstairs in my master bathroom because I can use it to clean up there as well as in the shower for myself. I don't know, I'm still experimenting. We shall see if it's worth it. And then I like this brand of body wash and I got some more for the baby. This is fragrance free. This was the first thing I actually added to my box this time because we ran out of this flaky Maldon sea salt. I love it so much. I use it for everything, especially stovetop soups, sprinkling it on homemade breadsticks. It's just, it goes in everything, honestly. I even will put this in my chocolate chip cookies, not in the regular dough. I'll use sea salt or something like that, but sprinkling a little bit of the flaky salt on top of your cookie when you're done putting them on the pan. It's so delicious, so pretty. Yeah, I always have a box of that around. By the way, if you're loving what you're seeing, Thrive gave me a link for you guys. When you go to thrivemarket.com/meganfoxunlocked, you're gonna get 30% off of your first order, plus a free gift that's valued actually up to $60. That is thrivemarket.com/meganfoxunlocked. But let's see what else we have here. Oh yes, I needed more olive oil. This is the extra virgin, I believe. And this is the Thrive Market brand too. I actually have a olive oil dispenser that I use that I can just pour this right into, so that works out perfectly. And this is cold extracted. And then this is a smaller box this time. I just wanted to get my salt here, so I just quickly placed an order, but that's fine as long as you order $50 or more, it's free shipping. And this is organic apricot preserves, and I want to use this on a chicken recipe that I have. So I canned some of my own jellies and jams, but not apricot, so I threw that in my order last minute as well. Random, like I said, but that's often how my Thrive orders look. There's a lot of different genres that I've learned to lean on Thrive for. So yes, check them out if you're worried about it will actually be worth it. Don't worry, they have a policy where if you don't make up the difference in your membership, they will refund you. So there really is no risk involved. Personally, I save about $21 per box that I've ordered, and that's amazing. I don't even order like the big giant boxes like some people do, and I'm still saving on average $21 a box, which is pretty amazing. So check it out for yourself. Thrive will definitely help you have a healthier 2025. So with talking about being healthy, this next one refers more to your body than to your mind and your soul, but I feel like they're all very interconnected, and that is where it is encouraged to eat 30 plants weekly, and that can be really hard. I feel like a lot of people, when they step into the new year, they're often thinking about, I'm not gonna eat this, I'm restricting that, and no more chips and ice cream and desserts and all of that. And I decided we're not worrying about that this year, so I decided to focus on more plants, not just for me, but for my whole family. One way practically to do that is salads. Those bought salad kits, I don't usually buy them, but I notice they often go on sale. You have to just eat them quickly the next day. And while the dressings in them are probably not super healthy, they put such amazing different combinations of vegetables. You know, kale, lettuce, cabbage, all the things that you might not think to add. And seeds are a plant as well, so that gets added in when you think of the sunflower seeds and pepitas and craisins that are going into your salad. It's just a lot of different varieties of plants. Another favorite of mine that has been my favorite for probably the past year, it has a chokehold on me, and that is the cucumber salads. There's so many different ways to make them. They're absolutely delicious. They taste so good. You're like, how is this not loaded down with sugar? There's a Greek version that I make. I've made a Mexican version, but the one I most often fall back on is an Asian soy sauce, peanut, toasted sesame oil, sesame seed style of cucumber salad. Just Google viral cucumber salad on pretty much any platform and stuff will pop up, and just try them all. They're so good. You will eat an entire cucumber for an afternoon snack. It's just amazing. I think it's also important to have a self-care routine. I mean, I'm in my 30s now, and there's lots of scary things out there. I think it's good to be aware of your body, even though I don't think I always do my best with that. But if you're not taking care of your body, nobody else is really going to be there doing it for you. Yes, you can go to the doctor and stuff like that, but you're in charge of a lot of that preventative stuff. I have a dermatology appointment coming up here just because I'm a freckly gal, and you know, I'm a little bit nervous about it, but at the same time, I want to be preventative and all of that. I use an app to track my cycles. I'm also trying to get into more clean skincare and makeup products. So if you have any suggestions, especially in the makeup department, that's not an MLM, something I can just order and it can come to my door, or I can get it at Walmart or wherever, let me know what works for you. I really don't wear a lot of makeup, but it's the tinted moisturizer. I feel like I absolutely need that, or I'm like pretty much see-through, especially this time of year, honestly. And I love my Burt's Bees lip shimmer. I also use tallow balm on my skin every morning, and that has been a game changer for sure. I feel like it gives a natural glow to my skin, and beef tallow has so many amazing properties to it. I actually love it so much that I sell it on my website. A very good quality small batch tallow that smells amazing. I have a blue tansy that has amazing skin benefits, as well as the vanilla. And just putting that into my daily morning routine and just massaging it into my face wakes me up, and it makes my face feel like it's glowing and youthful. It's just been a really good added bonus to my routine. This next one is super specific, but it definitely helps with your overall health in all elements of your life, and that is to read your Bible by the window. Bonus points if you open the window and get the fresh air in. I'm not doing that, guys. This is Pennsylvania. It's freezing out there. Look at that snow coming down. It's so pretty. Anyway, I like to sit right here on the sofa by the window in the mornings, and I read my Bible. I can kind of see the sun coming up. Some days it's already up, depending if it's a school day or not. But I love to sit by the window and I'm reading my Bible. I feel like I'm just feeding my soul and also my body by doing that. And there's different studies that talk about the benefits of getting the sunrise in your eyeballs in the morning. And something with that I've also been doing is in the evenings, if you can swing it different times of the year, or make it a little more impossible, but I feel like in the winter, the world just closes in so quickly in the evening, and I start to almost feel claustrophobic from the darkness, and it's like, good grief, it's already 4:30 and the sun is setting. But it's been working out here and there for my husband to be home in time for me to go out and go on a little walk and watch the sunset so he could be home with the kids. Or if that's not possible, I just go out and throw a golf ball to the puppy, just back and forth, and just I can see that the sun is setting. One, it's beautiful most of the time, and two, it's like that slow reminder that, okay, nighttime is coming. This is okay. We're shifting into the evening portion of the day, and it's not just such a jump scare of I turn around and suddenly out the window it's black, you know? And so we don't have great sunsets where we're at. There is some houses blocking that view, but sometimes I even will just, if Josh is home, jump in my car and drive out to a lookout spot and watch the sunset. It's just that important to me right now. Whatever easy, healthy alternatives are out there that you tried, just do those on repeat. They might seem small, but when you do them over and over again, it actually becomes a big thing. So whether that's making homemade hot chocolate with maple syrup and cocoa instead of the stuff in the store with all the random ingredients in it, or every morning I open the windows up before I even go to pick the baby out of his crib. I'm opening the window, the lights coming in. After I get him up from his nap, I open the window, the lights coming in. He can kind of see what time of day it is and just look outside and enjoy nature. Just a teeny tiny tip that helps with their circadian rhythm and all of that. So yeah, just find those little things that you're already doing and just make a more concerted effort to do it daily. And keep in mind, you're going to see a lot of different tips throughout your life, and you can't do them all. So do the ones that work for you and for your home. Have living, breathing plants in your home. I just bought this plant back here the other day because I killed one of them. I try not to get too attached to my plants because I am known to, I don't know what I do. Like, I have this beautiful sun porch out here and they seem to be happy, but my sister comes each week and waters them. I think sometimes she might be over-watering them, or maybe I need to aerate the soil a little bit more. I don't know. I've had pretty good success, but I would say every year though, at least probably 2 out of my 30-ish plants die, and I'm not perfect in any means. But having greenery in your life and through your eyeballs is just a good thing in the wintertime. Even if you can't have living plants in your home too much, just strolling through a greenhouse is so beneficial, and seeing all that greenery, nature is just healing in so many ways. Celebrate the sunlight. If there is a spot in your home that has a patch of sunlight in it, just milk that for all it's worth. We have a spot in our kitchen, on our kitchen floor, that the baby just crawls over and sits in the mornings just like a cat would. He sits there in the sunshine, and I'm like, oh, baby, I get it. That's what I want to do too. I put a disco ball up. I can link the one that we have. I put it up outside so the wind can blow it and move it around. And at the right time of day, we get all these little magical rainbow dots. My 3-year-old calls them Dippin' Dots, floating through the home. It actually bounces over into my kitchen, all here in the sun porch. It's just makes me smile, makes me happy, and puts a spring in my step. It doesn't happen all day long, so that golden time of the day around 10 to 12. I mean, everybody's houses are going to be different, the way it's set up and the position of your home and everything, but it's just a little sparkly time in our day. Maybe you just have one room in your home that gets a lot of sunlight. Try to be in that room over a certain time of day. When the sunlight is in that room during that time of day, especially in the winter, maybe you want to move your sewing to that room, or normally we think of folding the laundry at our normal spot. Maybe you could take it to a new spot, the sunny room, you know, whatever you need to do. Be okay with mess in your home. And that's hard because I do feel very frantic and anxious when the house is a mess, but I've learned that there are certain areas in the home where I can just be okay if it's messy, and we'll just clean it up, you know, periodically. So like the toy room, I can shut the door and I don't have to look at it, and we can clean it up in the evening. But if there's toys underfoot in the kitchen, no, they gotta go. I'm gonna be tripping all over them, you know? Kids need to have messes and make messes in their learning and developing process. It's a good thing, but I think just directing it in the right area of the home is key for our mental sanity. Also with that, be okay with some squabbles. I think it's so very easy if you're a new mom to jump in and try to referee everything. And our kids need to learn the hard way at home. Sometimes personal interactions, and at home is the best and safest place to do that. I feel, yes, of course, keep your ear open. I definitely will step in if I see an older child manipulating a younger one, taking advantage of them, bribing them, that kind of thing. I don't stand for that. But it's okay if they're gonna squabble here and there and argue, and let them try to work it out. My kids aren't particularly violent, although I've heard of some of my friends' kids who are literally always at each other, like scratching, hitting. Maybe it's a girl thing, I don't know. My kids aren't particularly violent towards each other. When they wrestle, it's because they're having fun. But occasionally somebody will hit somebody else or push them off of something, you know, and then of course we have to step in. But even that, I feel like age appropriate working it out physically is not always a bad thing. I haven't got to that stage yet. My kids are pretty young, so I don't know what you would do with a 10-year-old, but I wouldn't say it's probably always bad to step in if brothers are tussling or whatever. But I reserve the right to change my mind. Like I said, I'm a young mom. I haven't gotten there yet. My oldest is 7, and she's a girl, so it hasn't been too much of a problem yet. But I don't think you always need to step in every time at the first hint of tension, you know. See what they do, see what they can work out. And then just always enforcing that you guys are a team and we work together. And right now, these are our friends that we're playing with, and yes, your siblings are your friends, and we need to treat others how we would want to be treated. So yeah, just reinforcing that team mindset that we stand up for each other. This next one might be mind-blowing to some of you, but it's something, this is the way I've lived my life for probably the last at least 10 or 15 years, and that is to not save the best for last. I know a lot of people live that way, but why not have the best first? And then the second best becomes the first best, and so on and so forth. There's so many times in life where I'll find a new podcast or something and I'll be like, no, I gotta start at podcast 1 and go, 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 go. You know what? After a while, you burn out on that podcast anyway, so just go listen to the episodes that spark your interest right from the beginning. A while ago, I found the American History Tellers podcast, and I didn't just jump in at the first one and go through it. I went to the Titanic because that looked like the most interesting to me, and the Gold Rush, and I picked all my favorites. And what do you know? After a while, I was burned out on it, and I was ready for a change and for something else. And I was so glad that I had done my favorites already, you know? That could be like with a box of chocolates. Why not eat the coconut one first? Because obviously that's the best one. Then you'll be excited about that chocolate truffle one that's your next favorite, and so on and so forth, until you get down towards the bottom and all that's left is the mint and the Rice Krispie one, and you're still excited about those because they're the last ones you have, and they're the best that you have at that point. I know not everybody thinks like that, but I do that so often in life in so many different areas. You know, use your pretty dishes now. Use your favorite hand soap now. But then I'm gonna just completely contradict myself now and say, but also do have special things that make things fun. Maybe that's a birthday plate, or lighting candles, or having a bath bomb for a reward, something like that. Doing little things like that throughout the winter can definitely make your home add a sparkle to it, put some happy hormones through your body, even if it's something as teeny tiny as a new hand soap or a bath bomb. And finally, curate your social media. Now, you have the opportunity with your social media to have your very own art gallery or shopping mall. You get to pick what you see. For the most part. I know there's always those like For You pages and the Explore tabs and stuff like that. Just stay off of those. But follow the things that you're interested in, that you are researching, that you deem valuable. Mute people that you don't want to see, that you feel like you can't unfollow. Only follow like 300-ish people on Instagram. That's what I've been doing. I try to keep my account to following about 300, and I'm constantly rotating people out that just I'm done with, or don't serve my needs anymore, or I just don't want to see it, or before I love their content and now I just feel like it's a competition, or whatever. Constantly be mindful of what you're allowing in front of your eyeballs and what you're allowing to eat up your time. I know social media gets such a bad rap, but it can be a really beautiful thing if you have the self-control of a grown adult who makes their own decisions and can decide what they want. And if you keep seeing a lot of the same thing and you're like, why am I seeing this? Maybe it's because you're interacting with it. But anyway, I hope these tips helped you. Check out Thrive, and I hope you have a very happy and healthy home in 2025. Bye.